His words sliced cleaner than any knife. Street garbage in a borrowed dress. The billionaire's voice carried across the long mahogany table, polished so bright I could see my reflection in its surface. 23 guests, crystal glasses trembling in awkward hands, forks frozen mid-air. A silence so sharp it pressed against my chest like a blade. And his eyes, my boyfriend's father's, were steady, cruel, savoring the public execution. I rose slowly, my heart pounding like war drums. But on my lips a smile bloomed, because this wasn't humiliation, this was the cue. I remember the first night I met his son. A rooftop bar, golden lights spilling across the city. He had leaned against the railing, champagne in hand, speaking like he owned the skyline. For a moment, I thought he did. But his laughter was soft when he looked at me, human, almost kind. I let myself believe in him, in us, and for months I wore that belief like armor. I thought love could bridge the gulf between his world of glass towers and my world of cracked sidewalks. I thought sincerity would matter more than bloodlines. But sincerity doesn't win against billions. The shift came slow. His late replies, his father's calls that ended when I entered the room, the way their staff began looking through me instead of at me. I told myself I was imagining it. But truth has a way of bleeding through cracks. One evening, I arrived early to his penthouse. His laptop glowed on the desk. An email chain left open like bait. Her name, a woman I'd never met. Her family, richer than mine by galaxies. Their alignment described in sterile corporate terms. Marriage framed as a merger. My name, tucked between sentences, dismissed as temporary entertainment. Entertainment? That night, I smiled across dinner like nothing had happened. I poured wine, I kissed his cheek. But inside, the switch flipped. I did not scream. I did not leave. I observed. I learned. I began tracing their empire. Not the glittering skyscrapers they paraded, but the bones beneath. The shell corporations, the lawsuits buried, the creditors whispering in shadows. I followed their paper trails the way a hunter tracks blood in snow. And I found it. Weakness. A real estate deal, dirty, fragile, hinging on silence. Bribes signed with trembling pens. If exposed, it would burn their legacy to ash. But timing is everything. So I smiled at the patriarch in boardrooms, laughed at his cruel jokes, even let him call me charity case to my face. Every insult was gasoline I stored for the fire to come. And now here we were. His insult had dropped into the room like a grenade. The guests, politicians, bankers, influencers, shifted in their seats, unsure if they should laugh, cough, or choke. I stood tall, the silk of my borrowed dress whispering against my legs. My smile widened. "Funny," I said softly, not loud, but clear. A whisper in a hall where whispers start wars. I set my glass down. Because street garbage doesn't usually own half the land your new development is built on. The air fractured. Heads snapped toward me. His eyes flickered, just for a second. He hit it fast, but I saw. I leaned forward, calm, deliberate. I warned the city council that your permits were forged. They didn't believe me until I sent them copies of your private accounts. Offshore, untaxed. Gasps rippled down the table. I stepped closer, placing my hands flat against the gleaming wood. By tomorrow, headlines will brand you the king of fraud. Investors will scatter, banks will freeze. Your empire will collapse before dessert is cleared. He tried to speak, but his lips only trembled. His son's face drained pale beside him, betrayal cutting in both directions. I straightened, adjusting the strap of my dress. "Street garbage, you said?" My voice was soft, cold. Funny thing about garbage, it knows how to rot empires from the inside. The room erupted. Chairs scraped, guests whispering in frantic waves. Some fled, some lingered, hungry for the bloodbath. I turned my back on him, on them. My heels echoed against marble as I walked toward the door, every step steady, deliberate, final. I didn't look back. I didn't need to, because I knew by sunrise their name would be poison, their legacy, ashes. Do I regret it? No. Love blinded me once. They thought cruelty would break me, but cruelty sharpens. Betrayal educates. And when power mocks you across a dining table, you don't weep. You rise, you whisper, you burn it all down with a smile. Empires don't fall with thunder. They fall with a whisper. And tonight, that whisper was mine.